Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about The Shy Hero and the Assassin Princesses, Season 1, Episode 4. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. So, after dealing with, a goblin quest, our quartet is now able to take the promotion quest that'll rank them up to rank D, and it ends up being this unanimous decision between our three heroines that they will have basically a free-for-all. We won't worry about the order on who gets a shot when. It's going to be a dungeon, which kind of an enclosed space works out for Goa, because she's like planning on just like, what was it? I think she was saying like she just filled the place with poison. I want to say like, was it Seal or Anemone that was like, I would just like collapse the place, whatever the case may be. So they go inside, and each trial they do a little bit of a thing. First up is Seal. Funny enough, they do kind of go in order, regardless of it kind of being a free for all. At first, it's like, okay, it saps a little magic and it saps a little stamina. So I wasn't expecting it because I was like, oh, is it really just going to weaken you? I mean, it makes sense. It wants to tire you out from the beginning and put you on a uneven footing. But the thing is, Seal like ended up tweaking it and making it so that it stole more of her stamina, stole more of the hero's stamina. And just when she was about to strike, it ended up being Anemone who ended up healing him, which is, I never really thought about it too much I get it, she is an assassin playing the role of a priest, but her to actually have healing magic as an assassin, there's actually a darker implication of why she has access to that. Either it's just like, oh, I learned this just for the role, or I have this because it helps me with my job where I need to get information out of people, so I've tortured them and healed them. That's the darker implication there. But it could also just be like, there might be a little bit of her past associated why she has that. Like maybe that is part of her past before she became an assassin or something. Once again, it seems like she might have been like someone, like, considering she's such a like massive, like, I mean, who wouldn't hate slave traders? But the fact is, it felt like such a personal thing in episode 1 that I feel like that's got to be connected to her past. So maybe there's something there, maybe not. But obviously, just the funny bit is like, yo, you were healing him and you kind of screwed over Seal. So the next room ended up being a fire room, and initially Anemone is going to like actually throw a bomb in here because she's like, oh, it will explode and the fire will add more firepower. But then like Seal immediately gets rid of it with wind. So it's like, cool, you screwed up my attempt, I'm going to screw up yours. So, and then finally they end up in a room of fog where you're going to like not see monsters or whatever. Or like the fog is meant to make you hallucinate or whatever, and she's trying to add more to it to make Seal and Anemone like attack each other because they'll see each other as monsters, but it has no effect. And she's like, wait, I know me and the hero won't be affected, but why are you two? So it's like, I told you literally last episode, like, I'm putting up a magic barrier around myself to always be prepared for your status effects. But then also Anemone is like, yeah, you used it so much, I think I've actually grown an immunity to it, so. And then finally we get to the last room, and it's like a three-way split. There's 3 different doors, one to treasure, one to glory, and one to pleasure. And each one takes a position of, oh, we should go to this door. It's almost like, oh, like, I want you to follow me in this room alone so that I can, because the whole point was too, like, because the next point is like, none of us are going to succeed unless we wipe out the other 2, and we specifically have to do it at once. So I guess the plan is to like lead the hero one way, make him choose one way. I don't know what their plans necessarily were, like how they were going to handle that retro. Like if he chose one of the doors, how would the other 2 respond? But, and the sad thing is, all Toto can think of is, oh my God, the entire journey here, they've been so good. Such great bonds. They've been having so much fun. And for him, it almost feels like in this moment, he's like, they're not acting like themselves. He's like, it's like, what happened to that bond they had? And because he kind of feels like, obviously, they're all like, I mean, each place they're going is kind of key to their personalities and stuff like that. So I don't know if they kind of lost themselves in the moment, or they were just that desperate in that moment of, I need to like draw you my room so I can use this as an opportunity. I guess the plan is, hey, once he picks my room, I'll kind of push him in there and then I'll wipe out the other two in that instant. I don't know if that was their plans, but it's kind of a moot point because Toto just breaks the ground because it's like, right, we're supposed to go to the lowest floor, so smashes through and they land. And Toto didn't know that was going to work out, but he just, had an instinct of like, well, this might work. And it leads them to, what was his name? Lightning Feet Bear is his name, and he's like the final administrator of the trial. And Toto's like, yeah, I'm gonna handle this on my own because I've been pretty useless so far. You guys have handled everything, so let me handle this. And so he's fighting once again, just seeing like how much raw power Toto has when he's just literally throwing out a single punch and it's like carving into the ground like a sonic boom. And the others are like, yeah, let us help you, hero. And they're all trying to sabotage him at once. That they all like basically combine their skills and they reinforce Bear, even though Toto's like, yeah, it's a reinforcement. Thank you guys. Because he's thinking like, oh, you guys are helping me, but he's deluding himself. But they actually souped up the boss. But I guess because he was so caught up in, oh, I feel so young again, he just went in for the strike and wasn't like, I guess maybe because of his old age, he very much leaned into his speed. But in this moment, he got so caught up in feeling so energized, or who knows what. Regardless, Toto ends up hitting him once and knocking him out, and they pass. And he's actually kind of concerned by the end. He's like, oh, you guys, I thought you guys were getting along. But they're like, oh no, it must have been some kind of spell that affected us to make us go crazy. And he's like, oh, that's good. That's good. I thought you guys weren't friends anymore. But now it's like, yeah, it's all fun and games. But it's like, well, that didn't go the way any of them were expecting. But upon Toto getting hungry, they decide to go celebrate. And they're drinking, which Toto's drinking because he's like, well, the more I drink with alcohol in my system, less likely I am to faint, which he still ends up fainting after an hour. So I don't know if it's just he had too much alcohol in his system, but more likely, even with alcohol in his system, it still wasn't enough to stop his overwhelming shyness, and like he ends up getting stunned and knocked out. But Anemone is drinking like crazy and she's enjoying herself. They convince Seal to drink because they're like, oh, just take this drink. It's actually really sweet. She gets enamored by it. She gets a little drunk. The only one who seems to keep most of their factors together is Goa. Even Anemone getting so drunk, being like, hey, call me, like, I'll be your Onesan, And it ends up actually being this interesting conversation where the funny, ironic thing is they were playing like, oh, we're so close, and ultimately they do get close because they start opening up because Goa's like, oh, now that you guys are drunk, I can fight you guys. But she's like, honestly, I'm not going to. I was just joking. I'm not going to do that. And it's like, well, this would be the perfect time to do it. It's like, well, I actually have never really had any friends to kind of hang out and celebrate with, so I kind of don't want to ruin the mood. And Anemone's the same way, and even Seal, because for Seal, it's like, I've never had, like, yes, I was loved by my father, the Demon Lord, but the problem is that I never got a chance just to hang out with people, because, it's great and everything, but there was, like, surveillance and restrictions, so kind of being able to hang out with people wasn't a part of her situation. Same thing for Anemone. It's like, I'm an assassin, doesn't really lead to, a work-life situation where you get to hang out with people afterwards, because your interactions with people are usually the people you're trying to kill or the people who will hire you to kill somebody. So I forgot how that translated over until like the whole love for the hero thing, because it's like, oh, I guess we all kind of love the hero or something. How about we all go around and talk about how much we love the hero? And they basically make a fool out of Anemone and make her kind of say something. She's like, no, I don't love the hero, nor do I hate him, but it's like, being around him has kind of created this interesting opportunity for them to all kind of shift their lives a little bit. And it's like, yeah, like the funny thing is that the point of their target had brought them something out of this, where it's like they've grown and they've gotten friends, and this kind of little misfit party was put together because of the whole situation. So once again, the beauty of something that was insincere actually became something sincere. They'll still bump heads going forward, obviously, but I think it's still just kind of a nice outcome all around. But by the end, we find out because Seal kind of got a glimpse of them during the trial, but it turns out it's, I don't know, was it Happy the Harpy? Well, her name is something else, but like it looks like she might be a harpy. She's one of the Demon Lord's elite squad. I don't know. I guess here to keep an eye on Seal because I mean she is the Demon Lord's daughter, but it might also be seen as I can't fully trust you. Like you haven't gotten immediate results, so I need to see like what's going on. And if her surveilling, so I could definitely see Seal acting a little different next episode because she might feel like I have to play this up. I can't show any weakness. I have to prove myself to like, because Happy will probably be reporting back to my father about my progress. So I'm curious if Happy's going to try and get in the way of like, well, you don't have to worry about it, princess. I will deal with it. Or like I said, maybe she's just meant to keep an eye on them. So how long that happens and whether or not Seal starts acting a little different next episode because she feels like she has to like ham it up a little bit just to kind of sell the point that she's trying to kill the hero. And I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens and see what role Happy plays, whether it's beyond just surveillance or is there some other reason she's there. So we'll see where things go going forward into the next episode. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.